what caused it, but the community, the SPL players, the SEC players started doing teammate tier lists, right? At first, honestly, I think the SEC ones are pretty cringe because it's basically people jerking off their friends and on people that they hate. Like, you know what I mean? There was no in between. There's, you know, that's all it is. And then I saw PBM do one of the other pro players. I saw, I think it was like Herwin. I saw like screenshots or something of his. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just do it and have some fun. It's been a while. I kind of wish, I do wish if I had done this, I just done it when I retired. But we're gonna get into it. I'm making a ranked players tier list. There's too many ranked players, bro. Most of them stink. So a lot of you guys probably won't even know these players, or not these. A lot of these players. Like the first player is Adonis. Adonis went on to work as a caster in Smite, as an esports caster. Then he moved into the dev team, and then he moved to Paladins, Smite dev team to Paladins dev team, and now I believe he works on Valorant as a dev. He's a pretty average teammate. He didn't take criticism well at the time, from what I remember, like in terms of getting better, but he was like a bad teammate. He didn't do anything wrong. He wanted to win, wanted to do his thing. Compared to some of these other people, definitely not a bad teammate. Okay, aggro. This is our current dev. This is a horrible picture. Tallyho picked these pictures, by the way, so don't yell at me. So aggro, I played with him for 2 months, I think, on Xbox. I think it was 2 months. He was a mid laner. I played with him on El Leon's team, Andy's team. He was honestly a really good teammate. He wasn't insane. He didn't do anything like over the top, but he was a good teammate. He was positive. You know, the way he is with the dev insights and, like, you know, patch notes, all that stuff. He was the same way as a teammate. He was a good player, especially for Xbox. He was one of the better mids. Knew limitations, understood the game at a pretty high level. So we'll throw him as a good teammate. Allied, I should have Tally not put, well, Cyclone's in here. That guy sucks. Not put all the good teammates at first. We're just going to go on a roast spree here pretty soon. Allied, probably my favorite teammate of all time. And that's not with him passing away and all that stuff. Even before, like, we played together all the time. I went to TwitchCon with him. He's a really cool dude. He's funny as shit. He really never... He would get mad occasionally, you know, normal when we were playing, but nothing over the top. You know, people argue, that kind of stuff. Me and him would argue. It's normal. But, like, you know, we would text, I would hang out with him when I could, talk about stuff, talk about life. Good dude. Very good teammate. He's a funny teammate to have because if he started falling behind, his quote that I remember over and over and over and over again was the second he died. If he died first, if he was 0-1-0, he'd say, all right, I'm AFK farming. I'll see you at 30 minutes. And he was not fucking joking. He didn't want to rotate. He'd tell you he's not rotating. He would just sit there and farm. The other thing I remember his ass doing, and I didn't realize this until I started watching VODs like really religiously, he would, as he's backing, say, I'm going to be at this fight. As he was backing to the base in SPL games, in competitive real games, he would do that to get you to start fighting so he could get there and clean up. And then when I finally caught onto it and called him out, his ass just started laughing. And then he kept doing it. Literally just kept fucking doing it. Never stopped. And I really didn't realize it, that's what he was doing. I thought he was just watching and thought it was a good play. He couldn't see shit. I saw from his point of view. He wouldn't even be looking. He'd be in the shop. Code Baby. So those of you who don't know, Code Baby, I've known him since he was 4. Best man at my wedding. Awesome person. Honestly, a really, really good teammate. He's probably he probably would be anyway, one of my favorite teammates of all time. If you've met him, you know, he's probably the most likable person that's ever played in like Smite esports. Seems to be friends with everybody. I don't know how he does it. Dude stinks, but whatever. But he was forced in a solo. And it was before he was like a multi-lane GOAT. Nowadays he can play every role, high level. Probably if he wanted to get back into competitive, he doesn't play competitive anymore. But at the time, he wasn't that version of himself. He was a jungler, and I was jungling on the team. So he was forced in a solo. Really wasn't the best. Wasn't terrible. Was trying to get better. Was just forced into a weird situation because it was also a team swap in the middle of the year. Like, we pulled him in, like, it wasn't all planned. It wasn't tons of practice. He's kind of thrown into it. The one thing I remember about him was, I think, one of our first SPL wins. He was playing Ymir. He had Blink and something else as a Ymir solo. Were we defending? We were defending Phoenix. We were down 15,000 gold. And we went through a fight where like one of them died, a bunch of them got low, and one of us died. So it was 4v4. The fight's like separating. So like they're going back to decide what they're going to do. We're walking back to our Phoenix and we're like looking at each other. And he started screaming that he still has his Blink. He forgot he didn't use an active until this long ass fight happened. He just forgot he had it. Because this was like, I guess maybe it was nerves or something else. Man forgot he had Blink. Didn't use it in the fight. Won us the fight. Won us our first SPL game. Oh, man. Well, we all know where Cyclone goes. I think this is respectable. Honestly. I think it's respectable. He said a racism. Okay. So for Cyclone, obviously hard carried our team. Probably one of the best players ever play the game. When he was younger, we're going into like teammate stuff. When he was younger, his comms, from what I've heard, are a lot different now. Back then, a little bit more lackluster. Communicating wasn't the best. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the end of the world. I'd say his skill and everything heavily outshined anything else he could have done or did do. His game knowledge was there. When he wanted to, he could share his wisdom. But he usually did it while fucking, maybe not shit talking, but like borderline shit talking. Like it would probably hurt some people's feelings nowadays. So I'm going to put him at great teammate. If we were just talking about skill, he'd be above everybody else. It wouldn't be close. But we're mixing in everything, so we're throwing him in great teammate. Ducky. I got to remember with Ducky. Ducky was a good teammate. Ducky wanted to be better, wanted to be more consistent, wanted the team to be better, did a lot, communicated pretty well. I remember one time he told me something that in my mind was completely fucking wrong. This is the only time I ever saw him mad. But like he's always nice, never really said anything negative about anybody. Just wasn't hyper consistent at the time when I played with him. But he said something, like I asked him something about this going to solo lane or this happening, and he told me something I thought it was just completely wrong in my mind. If I can remember what it was, I would tell you. I really don't. But it was so wrong that I laughed, like at his answer. Like at his yes, like this or whatever. I'm like in my head, I just laughed because it wasn't even possible. He yelled at me. He yelled at me, dude. Which I don't blame him, because I kind of laughed, like not in his face, but like basically like video game wise, online wise, in his face. But he yelled at me. I never heard him yell at anyone before. He was still super wrong about whatever it was. What's a good mousepad recommendation? Go grab a Corsair mousepad, bro. So you guys won't know this guy. This is Virtuoso. Played with him on Xbox. I think, I'm not 100%. I think it's El Leon's cousin. I know in some way they're like related or like best friends, but I think it's his cousin or something. He can confirm that better than me. He's a really cool dude. I liked him a lot. As a teammate, he wasn't an insanely great player. He was pretty good. Had a good attitude. Nothing crazy. I didn't play with him for too long. He quacked? No, he yelled at me, like in comms. Ducky yelled at me. Virtuoso did not. Just cool dude. Really good teammate. I don't know what he's doing now. I think he was going to school while we were playing. El Leon. I played with Andy when I played with Aggro and when I played with Virtuoso. I think it was with Virtuoso for like a 2-month period. Awesome teammate. I didn't play with him long enough for me to put him in an all-time favorite. Just like we barely played for like 2 months or whatever. But when we played, I didn't have the shot call. It was the first time in my Smite career that I wasn't the shot caller. And it was the nicest thing in the world. Like I would still feed information. I'd still be talking a fair amount. But like I could just focus on jungling and playing the game and having fun. And he was doing all the shot calling. I think that team he was playing solo lane. So we also were diving together. So like synergizing with him was awesome. Great teammate, great dude. I honestly don't know why a lot of people, or why he's never been given the chance to play like on a really high tier team. I don't know if it's friendships. I don't know if he's pissed people off. I don't know if it's because he just plays all these roles all the time in ranked. And he's a beast. Good dude. Ionic. I'm gonna separate this. Like I have to separate this. So with everybody, I'm talking about how they were as like players and then as, you know, people, teammates, right? So I played with Ionic. I think it was season 7. Our support at the time was super underperforming, and we were looking for someone else. And I believe, if I'm not misremembering this, he's who we brought in. I could be wrong. It could be the other way around. Maybe we didn't bring him in. Maybe he came in off the rip. I forget. But we were in the team house while playing with Ionic. And when we were on that team, our scrims were great. Our games in house, like in LAN, were terrible. Like when we go to play our SPL games at high res, they were terrible. Don't know why. In terms of breaking the game down, he would not. Keep in mind, I'm always at an SPL level. I was always open for someone to tell me, yo, you're doing this wrong. Can you do this instead? Anytime. I've always been like that. At the start of every team, I'd say that. I'd be like, I'm not going to freak out at you. I might argue, but like then tomorrow I'll probably come back and be like, okay, but just do it. With Ionic, if you told him anything he was doing wrong, before you could finish, he would attack you. Not like literally and not over the top, but he would get extremely passive aggressive. Extremely passive aggressive. Then the next thing he did was we would go to Wraithen's house when we were in Atlanta. If you guys know who Wraithen is, it's like a 40-minute drive. We'd go there for like dinner. He'd invite us for dinner, like the whole team over. One of the times he invited us, we told Ionic we were going, asked him if he wanted to go, and he said no. At this time, and maybe still to this day, there's a big group of like those old, like the Barracuda teams and his teams that are friends, and they hang out and they talk all the time. They would do that and watch like basketball while we were in the team setting at LAN, at the team house. So we'd see him like hanging out. Like we'd literally turn around and be like, hey, you want to go? He said no. We go, we eat, we come back. The next morning, I wake up to a text from the owner of the team saying, we ditched him. We didn't invite him. We were being bad teammates and bad people. It blew my fucking mind. Keep in mind, at this time, we were already talking to each other about maybe kicking him. So he made it 10,000 times easier. It was insane. I couldn't fucking believe it. And then he says he did not do this, but he got kicked off the team, and then we went on like a break. Everyone went home. When I didn't come back. When the rest of the team came back to the team house after we kicked him and after the break, he says it wasn't him. I don't know who else would have done this or why they would have done this. They shit in one of the toilets in the house and left it there the entire break that we were gone. Like the month or two break we were gone. He swears he didn't do it. There's no fucking way he didn't do it. 0% chance. Like I said, it didn't really affect me because I wasn't there. I was barely there at that point. I wasn't there when the break was over. So I'm gonna be honest, like as an individual player, I don't think he was trash, but as a teammate, I'm putting him down in trash tier. I'm just gonna be real with you. I'm gonna put him in trash tier. Yeah, okay, Andy. Funball. If you guys know Funball, I played with Funball before the SPL existed. On a team called Reason Gaming. They were not the first time I played in like the competitive scene, but they were the first team to invite me to play. They were the third best team behind the like Zatman, Lassus, Dignitas team and the Barracuda and Inster cognitive team, whatever they were called then. Then we were third. Awesome dude. Funny as fuck. He's from Europe or somewhere over there. He's not from the US. So he played on higher ping all the time. Great dude. Like, still to this day, I remember playing with him and all the fun it was. Good dude to hang out with afterwards. He likes to drink a lot. Yeah, he'll drink a lot. The one thing I do remember is him, me, and Pecky's were on that team, right? I think that was Pecky's and Adonis. I think that was that team. We were open to do dumb shit, like really dumb shit. And one of the last games, I remember we like triple jungled or double jungled with him doing ADC or something else. So I just remember him being a really cool dude. He's a great teammate, fun guy. No problem. Oh, we put Bobby on here? All right. Should we start off with the bad with Bobby or the good with Bobby? So that way, like, Do we bring his hopes up, or do we just start okay and then bring him down? The bad, obviously. All right. The bad. When we had that one game where he built 80% CDR, I didn't realize what he built at the time. A lot of the time in SPL games, I'm not looking at my teammates' builds. I just feel like, why? Like, why would I have to look at it? Game ends, we get shit on. I get back to the house, and I look at Twitter, and the first thing I see is, weekend, why did Bobby have 80% cooldown? And I looked at Bobby, and I said, Bobby, why the fuck? Like, laughingly, I was like, why do you have 80% cooldown? And he like kind of started to defend it. And I was like, you're trolling, right? Like, you don't actually think that was good. He swears it was good. I stopped him. I said, Bobby, there's no fucking world where that build wasn't dog shit. Please never do that again. And then, I mean, I bring it up in stream, but I never like talk to him about it again. Outside of that one instance, I do think there was like a funny side to it. So when I retired, I talked to our coach, and our coach basically agreed that mechanically our team was dog shit, without saying those words. So that was like Bobby, Wolfie, whoever else was Wowie, whoever else on that team. And then I went and told the owner, I was like, I'm quitting. Like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Coach is telling me it's not something he can fix. It's a mechanical issue. That's a skill issue. I've been doing this for too long for like skill issues to be the overall, like mechanics to be the overall issue. And when I quit, I think I just told them like, hey, I'm quitting. None of them were like, talk to me about it or anything afterwards. You know, like, hey, like, you know, what happened, whatever. There's okay, see you later. So I knew like they thought they were going to become great by signing. They were probably already been talking about like picking up Sino. So that side of it, pretty shit teammate. Doesn't make him a bad person. You know, they're excited about bringing somebody new, maybe winning because we were getting shit on. It did feel good when they weren't really that great and they pretty much had the exact same issues as when I played. Just throwing it out there. To the good. Oh wait, one more bad. Bobby swore he's a better shot caller than me. And to my memory, I don't think I'm wrong here. Maybe I am. When I was shot calling, I have VODs. I could go pull them off like my computer. When I would shot call scrims, we would win. I don't remember what it was, but we like actually had some good scrims for a bit. And he was like, I want to shot call again. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I was at this point, I just wanted to play the game. I wanted to win. I didn't care. When he was shot calling at that point in time, we would lose everything. And they were really bad calls to the point where when I quit, I had to play 2 more games after I quit because they weren't allowed to pull somebody in like within that time. They had to be longer or something. As we're playing the game, I'm muted. I'm still making shot calls sorry, not shot calls. I'm in those games. I'm pretty much checked out, right? Like I just have to play. I'm not shot calling. I'm calling little things. Hey, beats down, you know, this and this. I'm targeting this guy, whatever. But he's doing the shot calling, and every call that he made, I had my mic muted, but I'm recording. I would say, this is dumb because of this. And then that would happen. It would go wrong. We'd lose the fight. We'd lose the fire giant, whatever. So that kind of made me feel more validated and like, okay, I was right. So I also hated his shot calling just wasn't good at that time. It apparently got a lot better, but it was dog shit. On to the good teammate stuff. It was never really negative. It was positive, overly positive. He definitely wanted to get better and would watch VODs and would wanted to improve. A lot of these dudes did not. It was very clear. It just wasn't an interest to them. For me, it was frustrating because I put in so much time at that point in time because I was traveling, I was streaming, I was playing in the SPL, all that shit doing YouTube. I was still watching VODs. So for him, he was one of the few people that actually did and tried to get better. So I have to give him that. I don't think I'd say at the time Bobby was a great teammate. I'd say average, probably. I'd say as a person, he's way better. And maybe now he's a better teammate, but you know, I haven't been playing for 2 years. Oh God, do we do this? These three being back to back to back are actually crazy. Holy fuck. All right. At first, I think I was actually a pretty good teammate at first. We weren't all best friends. Most, like me, Kiki, Cyclone, Allied, we would talk, hang out, play, play decently. Like we would queue together, ranked when it was 3-man queues, 2-man queues, whatever. Incon was never part of that. So he was always kind of like an odd man out. He would say really dumb shit at the dumbest times. Like when we were really good, we didn't lose. You need to understand that. When we were AFK and the Envy, we didn't lose. We weren't losing SPL games. We weren't losing scrims. We could do whatever we wanted. There was no thought process. We would think about bans, but picks wise, we could play whatever we wanted. We would win. I don't know why. It just worked. But he would still say and do the dumbest shit and piss people off. I don't remember what it was he said to Cyclone, but it was borderline racist. And Cyclone just left. Scrims. There's a middle of scrims. He just left. And I didn't even blame him. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was like supposed to be some kind of like Asian joke or something, if I remember correctly. Cyclone might remember better than me. I just remember the moment, it was kind of like, what the fuck? And Cyclone just left. Comms gone. Out of the scrims, gone. I'll never fucking forget that shit. Ever. No matter what. As a teammate at that time, he actually was a fairly good teammate. He handled most of the bullshit, like talking with high res, getting shit set up. At one point, he actually, he wasn't the only one doing it. Like I did it with him, but he would do like contracts and stuff. He wasn't the worst teammate in the world at the time. It got progressively worse to where his stream and YouTube were starting to get better, and you could tell that was having an effect because of the way his sleep schedule was. And then it really, we can instigator. An instigator. What are you talking about? I didn't instigate shit. You forgot it? Yeah, I mean, I don't, this kind of shit happens on teams, by the way. Arguments happen, people leave, scrims, whatever, that shit happens. But that, I remember that specifically because there was nothing for me to say. Like, it wasn't even like, let me go talk to Cyclone. It was like, that was pretty fucked up. Okay. Like, all right, cool. That's that. But like I said, his sleep schedule was whatever. He wakes up really early, goes to bed really late. Or goes to bed really early, sorry. We're at a LAN. It was I think it was our play-in LAN. If I do not, I guess let's talk about him getting bad. Let's talk about that. So Incon was a 2 to 3 god unit. We'll go with unit. He could play Athena, Sylvanas, and Gep. And that's it. And when I say play, I mean it was pretty much a waste of time for him to play anything else. He was very good at Hog. Hand of the Gods, used to secure objectives. He was really good with his Hog. I give him that too. But when they changed, nerfed gods, and tweaked them around, and on top of that, I also played Athena in the jungle. We won pretty much every game I ever played Athena on, it felt like. So that also fucked a little bit with his god pool, I'm not gonna lie. But when they nerfed a lot of those gods or other gods started to get better, he fucking fell off harder than I've ever seen anybody fall off in my fucking life. And he wasn't getting any better because when he was streaming, he wasn't just playing support. He was playing lots of roles and doing lots of shit. So outside of scrims, he wasn't improving at other gods. And during scrims, he couldn't play other gods. And it was very rare he even wanted to play other gods. So that was when we started to lose. We went from pretty much never losing to kind of losing a lot to a lot of teams we shouldn't have lost to. So our genius idea, obviously looking back now, was he played mid before he played support. And going into a LAN coming up, he could play Isa and he could play Zhong Kui. Zhong Kui was pretty good. Like, it was really good. So we're like, all right, let's put in kind of mid. He was down for it. There was never like, we're going to kick him. It was just like, this is what we should probably do because Incon sucks. We put Kiki in support, right? I remember. Yeah, Kiki support, I think. I remember correctly. And then we scrimmed with that and we won a ton of scrims. So we're like, shit. Great idea. We're fucking geniuses. Like, this is awesome. Let's go to LAN. We get to LAN. We get to the play-in match to go to Worlds. And he starts playing like shit. We get to, I think it was the 4th game. And he goes, I can't keep my eyes open. I'm tired. It was like 8 p.m. I don't think people realize that. I don't think people understand having your mid laner say, I'm too tired to keep my eyes open in the middle of a game that gets you to Worlds, how that works. And on top of it, he's playing like shit already, so that just made it make more fucking sense. It's like, oh, this is shit. If I might be remembering wrong, but I'm pretty sure he didn't drink like energy drinks or anything then too. So it wasn't like, hey, you need to go chug a fucking Red Bull for the last game. So that game went to a 5th match, and he pretty much shit the bed in the 5th match so bad that as we walked off the stage, every one of my teammates said, I'm not playing with him next year. Every single one. And I said, okay, I don't blame you. And then I realized we could still play Xbox. And while we were still there and everyone was still pissed at him, I was like, you guys want to play Xbox? We go to Incon. Hey, you want to play? I was like, yo, you want to play? Like, I'm not going to just, we could still win Xbox. We should win some money. He didn't want to play Xbox. He wanted to focus on his content, which pretty much solidified him getting kicked off of that team, if you guys didn't know. I'm sure some people know this. I've talked about this before. Just don't talk about it all the time. Him saying, no, I'm not going to, practice Xbox with you guys and play for that, pretty much guaranteed he was gone off the team. He kind of decided himself without knowing it. He blamed me for getting kicked that time. And then the second time he blamed me for getting kicked. The second time around, he was actually playing pretty decent because the same gods were good again for him. I did take the money from you and the Xbox boys. Sorry. But yeah, I'm going to put Ingon down here, trash teammate. I mean, you pretty much, for us, he lost us a LAN that got us the Worlds when we were one of the top teams in the game. Jerby. Do any of you guys know who Jerby is? At all? I mean, you would have literally had to have been here 10 years ago to know who this is. The second time Incon got kicked, second time was really stupid. So we were on Team Allegiance. The owner's name is Connor. Connor was very involved with the teams. Him and the 2 guys under him were super involved with the teams. So that was also the team. We played the whole year, right? We were average, if that. And we're getting into this play-in LAN. The play-in LAN, you have to go through open bracket. Not open bracket. You have to go through like a round robin to make Worlds. Our team was not good enough to do that. Our team was the Co-Baby team where he was solo. Me, Incon, MLC Stealth, and Veninu was the ADC. After scrims and once we found out how the play-in tournament was going to work and that we could play with other teams that also got knocked out from Worlds. So at the same time, Cyclone's team also didn't make Worlds the other way. So they could play in this play-in tournament. We learned about all that. Incon messages me and without saying it alludes to, I want to kick people and pick other people up. And because Co-Baby was a real life friend, that's why he was alluding to it without saying it, was because he didn't want to tell me I want to kick Co-Baby. He told me that, and I was like, so like you want to kick Cope and Ben? And he's like, yes. And Stealth is like, yes. And I'm like, okay, like I don't disagree. They're not the best players. Let's do it. And they're like, we want Cyclone and we want Oceans. I'm like, okay, you want me to talk to him? Because I don't think you should talk to him. He goes, yeah. So I messaged Cyclone. Cyclone goes, like, I think he was like, let me think about it or whatever. Because they were still at the LAN, I think, with his team around him. Cyclone was, we weren't. And he comes back and he's like, I want to play, but I won't play with Incon. It wasn't just Cyclone. I don't think anyone else wanted to. He was like, we gotta, like, Mike, PBM had to come. So I went back to Stealth and I was like, Stealth, they won't play with Incon. What do you want to do? And we talked about it for a little bit and said, let's go see if Connor, the owner of Allegiance, will let me and you, or me and Stealth, leave and go play on Envy with Cyclone and PBM and Oceans. I went to talk to Connor and I talked to him and he said no, like instantly, no. I'm like, well, we can't win with our current roster. This is already where we're at. This is what's happened. And he goes, okay. I'm like, so either you let us leave or you kick Incon. And he goes, we'll kick Incon, let me handle it so it doesn't turn into a big thing. Fast forward to now, you can see it turn into a big thing because Incon cried again and said it was all my fault. It's pretty wild. So that was the second time Incon got kicked. Incon also hit me with the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, something, fool me a third time, you're a piece of shit. He said that in the comms with me and Stealth. I'll never forget that shit either. That was he wasn't quoting J. Cole. He was saying his own. It was, you know, that happened. All right. Anyway, I asked you guys about Derby. Derby played on the original Snipe team. So this was the team that we kicked him. We moved Kiki to mid. We picked up Cyclone Spin. We turned into a good team. He was a heavy smoker. Very short, old at the time. Like, you guys call me old. He was like my age 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever the fuck it was. Very strange. Oh yeah, he's short. Very short. As a teammate at the time, he wasn't very good mechanically, and I was new to this team, so I kind of just listened to the shit he would say. But he wasn't, you know, he was okay. Compared to everyone else at the time, he was okay. He started to get worse and worse as everyone else started to learn the game because he'd been playing it since like DM Brandon times. He was kind of on like DM Brandon's level of skill probably at the time because he played the game since DM Brandon did. So like, imagine at one point when there was 10 people playing the game, he was one of the best, DM Brandon was one of the best, and then as more people played and played longer, they became shit and everyone else became better. That's what happened to him, just at a very rapid pace, and he fell off super, super quick. The only thing is, this dude came back into the scene like 4 or 5 years ago and got a job at High Res. I don't know how. And while working at High Res, he started selling fake VIP tickets to Worlds, saying you would get special seats, you get behind the scenes stuff, you meet all these players, and then took the $20,000 that he scammed and ran away in the middle of the night after High Res called the police on him. And there were charges, blah, blah, blah. Disappeared into the fucking darkness. Nobody's heard from him since. As a teammate, I'd probably put him as bad. As a person, I'd probably put him below trash teammate. He got the 20K and he dipped, bro. He just disappeared. I've never heard they found him. No one ever, nothing about him being found. Ever. Rank him as a hustler? Nah, man. This guy was just a scummy, scammy, fucking really weird guy. Just from the first time I ever met him, that's what I thought. Next up is Keegs. Keegs has a cool story too. I told you it's kind of crazy that these were the 3 in a row. So Keegs was like 14 or 15 when I was playing with him. He's a mid laner. Very skilled player at the time. Like, you could see how good he was and like the potential. You'd see like glimpses of like Cyclone-esque plays, but it wasn't hyper consistent. Well, this motherfucker shows up late to scrims every day for 2 weeks. Every day I'm like, bro, you got to be on time, right? Like this is getting old. After 2 weeks, I told him, if you show up late again, I'm kicking you off of this team. I don't even remember what roster it was. I don't remember what org it was under. I didn't give a fuck because I was just going to go to the owner and be like, he goes or I'm not playing. The very next SPL game, we have to get up at like 11 a.m. We play at like 12 p.m. like in the afternoon, which is fairly early for a bunch of gamers who are up till 5, 6 in the morning. But still, he doesn't show up to the first game. He just nothing, doesn't show up. As we're ending the first game with either a sub or a coach, he comes into the comms, acts like nothing is wrong, laughs about it. Yeah, this is when we were being paid $30K a year. He was 14 or 15, making $30,000 a year, and couldn't show up in time for anything, for video games, to play video games. So he got kicked. When he didn't show up, I'd already messaged like he's gone, he's off the team. It was already done deal. So yeah, he got kicked off the team. And other than the fact that he could have been great, he was a pretty shit teammate. Pretty like, because it goes a little bit deeper than just being immature. Like, your parents should have instilled the idea that you commit to something, you show up to it, you do the thing you say you're gonna do because it affects other people. I don't know if he just had bad parenting or what, was just a piece of shit. But yeah, he got kicked, and I don't think he was on the team for too long. I don't remember exactly how long he made it, but it wasn't for too long. This is Kiki. Kiki still plays the game. Kiki's cool. I love Kiki. I've had Kiki at my house. He came to my wedding. He was on NVAFK, that team. I think me and Kiki would argue. I think I'm the only person he would ever argue with. I don't remember him ever arguing with anybody else. Probably one of the most innovative players outside of Cyclone. So having them both on the same team was kind of crazy. Thinks about the game very differently than most people. Awesome fucking teammate when I play with him. Better person than teammate. Very good dude. I don't know if he's better nowadays. I just know he plays the game still. I actually hung out with him at Worlds. We went out to eat. Great guy. Different? Are you alluding to something? Oh, yes. So Cyclone wants me to say it. Kiki is gay, and that's that. GG. I love Kiki. I love Shawaz. His partner's fucking cooler than he is, to be honest. Clip sus. How's that sus? He'd laugh. See, that's the good part. That's how I know him as a person. He wouldn't even care. I'll clip it and send it to him. I'll call him right now. I'll call him right fucking now. What do I mean by that? I'll call him now and he'll say it. It's fuck Shawaz right now. Shawaz is cool, dude. So yeah, he's up there. Like, that original team outside of Incon, awesome fucking players, awesome people, still friends and talk to all of them, except for Incon. Well, I passed away, but yeah. Lasbra got fucked when I played with him. And I feel bad still to this day, even after he won Worlds. I'm so glad he won Worlds. I wouldn't sit here and say I'm best friends with Lasbra, but anytime we're around, we sit and talk for hours. When we were on team together, we would talk all the time. We'd hang out. We'd go to Micro Center and he would get like fucking people trying to be getting his number and shit. Great dude. Very good teammate, but he got fucked. So when the team was being made, our owner knew Lasbra was like the next, up and coming fucking superstar. But at that time, I didn't want to play any other roles. I didn't think I was good enough to play any other roles, so I just didn't want to do it. I even was like, yeah, if I got to play another role, I'm just not going to play in the SPL. That's fine. Owner wanted to have the superstar coming up, Lasbra, and wanted to have me because of my content and like how big of a following I had. He wanted us both on the same team. So Lasbra got put in mid, and Lasbra was going to say yes to anything because he was trying to get in the SPL. And honestly, it fucked him. He put in a lot of work, practiced more than anybody, watched VODs more than anybody. Me and him would talk about the game more than anybody. He would tell me jungle shit, and we would just talk about the game and shit. He Lasbra leagues. Great fucking teammate. He got fucked because he ended up getting, I'm pretty sure he ended up getting kicked, and it was just because he was stuck in a role he shouldn't have been playing. He should have been jungling. And nowadays, like, if I was me now, I would have been not even with him winning Worlds. Like 2 years ago, I would have told you this. I should have gone to mid and just started learning it. He should play jungle, and it probably would have been a different team. It probably would have been a different everything. He didn't leave for LG. He got kicked and was in like a limbo for like a week or two, and then I think a whole bunch of shit happened then, and he got picked up, if I'm not mistaken, because I felt really bad when he was getting kicked. I felt like, because we were in the team house, I talked to him all the time. The owner asked me not to say anything because he wanted to talk to him first. I felt really fucking bad. I talked to him about all this stuff. Like, we've talked all this shit a million times. So Lasbra will be up there, probably like in between here. I'd say since he got fucked in mid, it kind of makes me want to put him as great teammate. I think just like overall, like the connection we had and everything, I'd probably put him in all-time favorite. Like every Worlds, we hang out and talk forever. Again, just like last year, this year, the same dude came over and harassed us. And we made up a story about going fishing after every SPL game we lost. because the guy was like randomly talking about fishing, and we're like, yeah, we go fishing all the fucking time. And he's like, seriously? And we're both just back and forth, just like extending the story, making shit up. Like, yeah, we lose by like 20 and just fucking hop in the car and go fishing. And like made up the place and everything too. It was fucking great. I'm gonna try to put like 3 or 4 people in this top all time. Yeah, now he's a world champion. So I'm glad he won. Lazarus dope. Very cool dude. Very, very cool dude. He's also jacked as fuck now. Lassus. I don't know if a lot of you guys know him at all. Riley, yeah, that's what I brought. I was like, yeah, my dad fishes. Yeah, so this is Lassus. Any of you who were back in the day, you know Lassus. He started to come back more. I think he's been playing like most of the last year-ish. Easily one of my favorite teammates I ever played with. He was the only person who I played with in the game, like in SPL, and then also would play ranked with all day long and still had fun all the fucking time. He's funny as fuck. He's superly nice. I do think he fucked up his streaming career, which, you know, this doesn't matter, but he fucked up his streaming career by going and playing something that wasn't Smite. He was like the biggest Smite creator for a long time. Great dude. Awesome fucking person. Never did anything wrong. Never was a bad teammate. Was always like a perfect teammate, and just one of the most fun people I ever played video games with. Any video game. He's a really good person. That, like, even when I was playing with him, I knew in the moment I was playing with one of my favorite people I'd ever played with. So that was awesome. Because we also weren't the best team. We were good and we were having fun. But we weren't like the top team. It's easy to have fun and be good and be best friends when you're winning. He was streaming Helldivers too. He had 800 people. What the hell? Yeah, good. Dude, all right, so story. When he swapped to Overwatch, he was a pretty big Overwatch streamer, but he was kind of a waiting room for Tim the Tatman. He was friends. He might still be. He was friends with Tim the Tatman. He would play with Moon. I actually played Overwatch with him and Moon before Moon blew up. But he had a pretty good stream for being a waiting room for Tim the Tatman. We go to TwitchCon, and I see him, and I haven't talked to him in a long time. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, what's up? And he's nice. He's like, dude, you're killing it, all this other stuff. And I'm like, bro, you're killing it. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, he's pulling 1,000 at the time, which is a lot, 1,000+ viewers all the time playing this other game. He's blowing up. He's doing great. He kind of brushed it off, like pushed it off, like, yeah, nah. And then I realized, and I felt really bad about this, that he actually wasn't pulling anywhere near the viewership I thought he was. It was like 1/5 of that. And it was kind of just not great. And I felt so fucking bad afterwards. Because he was a very good content creator, and he was the first person I copied builds from when I started playing the game. So in a lot of ways, I learned the game from him. He used to play hyper aggressive, and he was a Loki main. So I kind of learned the game from him and then extended it to my own kind of play style. Last is dope, great dude. I had to tell a story because I was a dick on accident. I don't even know if I ever told him about that. I think I did, but I could be wrong. This is the worst teammate. I don't even remember who else is on this list. This is the worst teammate I ever fucking had in my entire fucking life. Both in-game teammate, both person, both experiences after teammate. The worst fucking person. Worse than all these motherfuckers by fucking far. This is Matty Pocket. He's what's the word where you just lie? Pathological liar. Like, everything that you could be wrong as a person, he is that. So I join back with Incon, season 3. He's on a team. It's Incon. It's Matty Pocket. It's a stream team. It's Lassus, Incon, Matty Pocket, Dare to Care, and they had like a random fucking support, right? Or random ADC. Random ADC. I joined this team. Incon's story was like weird as fuck. He's like, I saved it weekend. I brought him in. That's not what happened. They were playing and they were losing, but they were only losing because of their jungler, Dare to Care. He was fucking trash. No offense to him. At other points in time, he wasn't trash. He was dog shit. They played a game where Dare to Care threw 2 matches. They should have beat like the top team. I messaged Incon. I was like, dude, you're losing because of him. I know your team was a fun team. Bring me back on the team. We'll win every game. I don't even think he responded. It was either the next day or 2 days later. Incon messages me, you want to play on the team. Like straight up. Not like try out, like you want to play on the team. So I come into that team, Dare to Care's out. At that moment, Lassus, Incont, and the ADC, their brains flopped because when I joined the team, we won our first SPL game. So their brains were all like, oh shit, we're not a stream team anymore, even though I was still a streamer. It was, let's play the fucking game and let's be good. Matty Pocket's brain didn't work like that for whatever fucking reason. I don't know. So he's playing like dog shit. Even when we're winning, he's playing dog shit. He's playing picks we don't want him to play. Doesn't listen to anything. Then when we start getting pretty good to where I think we're like actually a really good team, in scrims, we play like 10 minutes into a scrim. He'd be like, I want to go stream. He was a solo laner. And he was not trolling. In the middle of, like, we'd be scrimming for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. First scrim. I want to go stream. I didn't know him well enough at the time. Even when I was playing on the team, I wasn't like talking and hanging out with him. It was just like that scrim interaction. Because he didn't talk to anybody. He just streamed. I thought he was trolling. He left at the end of the scrim and went to stream. And that was like after that moment, everything checked. I don't remember, like after that, I don't remember anything about him at all. Zero. Nothing. It was at that. It was over. Like I didn't care about anything else he said, did, nothing. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then you guys know, if you've been around, you know the rest of it. He went on. He said he had crazy shit. He told Hi-Res he had dirt on them and they couldn't do anything to him. He was messaging Hi-Res employees and getting people permaban or like banned without any, just insta ban for nothing, like without any research being done by the Hi-Res employees. There was just so much drama after drama after drama for him. He would go below all three of these people. Oh yeah, he view botted his entire career in Twitch to the point where once view bots got crushed, he disappeared. There was nothing good or positive about this guy. Nothing at all. Terrible fucking person. He's been back streaming WoW lately. That's crazy. Terrible fucking human being. Trash. Who's up here? This is Coat Baby. It's Allied, Coat Baby, Lasbro, Lassus. Did he shit talk Final K's wife? I have no idea. Like I said, after that like interaction, it was like I would call him out all the time on his negative shit, but I don't remember shit about him anymore. Dude was just a piece of shit. This is Matt Yankee. Matt Yankee is one of the first 10 people that was ever in my stream as like a regular person, like a regular viewer. I'll never forget him. He would be in my stream. He'd talk in the chat all the time. Very cool dude. Like him a lot. Talk to my world. Super happy all the time. He's like a I wouldn't say he's like a hard partier, but he's like the fun guy in the group of like wherever he is. You know what I mean? Like the laughing, smiling, happy dude all the time. He's a cool guy. I like him a lot. As a person, I probably put him higher. Teammate, he was average. He was a mid laner. He was hyper aggressive. I don't think he really knew what he was doing. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. I don't know if he's the life of the party, but like he made it better, if that makes sense. Like he always, anytime I saw him around, he made everything better. Who's the second guy? This is Coat Baby. Oh, wait, I just want something else. Oh, and Trash. This is, okay, you're trolling. Where am I? This is my teammates. I'm not my own teammate. This is Mineral. Mineral's a cool dude. Very nice guy. I guess maybe two major flaws, which really ruined him as a teammate. Mineral would talk lots of shit online, play great online. Cool, like I said, very nice dude. Nothing wrong with him as a person. But as a player, if you talk shit, you either have to back it up or you need to, coast with it. Like at least be, in average, right? Mineral's problem was we'd set up a game plan night before we go. This is when we played on LAN. So we're in a team house. We'd set up a game plan. We knew what we wanted to do. In scrims, he would have the best comms ever. We get to LAN, get to the events, whatever, get to play. It was the SPL game. It wasn't a LAN. It was SPL, played a high res. And as soon as we walk in, he would disappear every single fucking time. I think he would say he would go to the bathroom. I'm 99.9% sure he was having like crazy nerves, freaking out as soon as we walked in every single time. Because by the time we got to playing, no comms, gameplay was shit, barely would say a word, wouldn't follow the game plan. His pick choice would be like change the last second. And I'm not gonna lie, I was just so done with all that shit at that point. I wasn't even like, I wasn't a great teammate to like, I noticed it and didn't try to help him because I just didn't want to. Like, I didn't want to help somebody who was talking shit, and then that was how you reacted after talking shit. Like, that was the type of player you were. I wouldn't say trash teammate, I'd say bad. His scrims were great. His matches that mattered were complete and utter dog shit. Complete and utter dog shit. Stealth. You guys should all know Stealth. I'm gonna throw him up here before I talk about it. Stealth is a great fucking teammate. He was the most passive aggressive fuck there was. But mechanically and decision making wise, and as a teammate, player teammate, best mid laner I ever saw in my fucking life. Never, I still to this day don't remember him ever missing an ability in a real game in my fucking life. Ever. Understood the game well, would play whatever we needed, was, if he wasn't being passive aggressive, was very positive outside of those. He was a really good teammate. Like, you know, like I said, the passive aggressive shit killed it for most people. It wasn't the end of the world for me. It wasn't the best. It got pretty old, but as like a player teammate, great fucking teammate. Because I could look past that shit, and even especially nowadays, I'm like, if I could have that player who's just a little passive aggressive over these other motherfuckers I've dealt with, I'd take him all day. All day. Yeah, he was an insanely good player. Stealth loved the thought and Nox late in his career. That and Kukulkan. We would play Kukulkan too. What do you mean by passive aggressive? If you did something wrong or something he didn't like, he wouldn't like be super mean, but he was passive aggressive about telling you. Like that's it. He was passive aggressive with people over that shit. He would also get a little passive aggressive if you were trying to change something he was doing. Like maybe it would help you and you'd be like, could you do this? He'd get passive aggressive about that too. He was a nice mean kind of guy. He wasn't mean. He just wasn't direct about anything, and he wasn't nice, and like he wasn't direct, so he couldn't be nice about being direct. It was just passive aggressive shit, and it got really annoying. It got and when he was losing, it was obviously worse. As you know, I would be worst player to be around if I'm losing. But like I said, to this day, it's still probably the best mid laner I ever played with. No, it wasn't. He wasn't afraid to tell you. When you're passive aggressive, you're like, I don't know. You'll say like little jabs, like say you lost a fight, and without saying like, hey, cope baby, or you know, hey, we can miss that Thor, so we lost the fight. It'd be like, yeah, if we hit more of our stuns, in like a negative tone. Like, yeah, we lost that fight because we missed all of our stuns, and like I'm the only person with a stun on the team. like really fucked up shit like that. Not like, hey, if we hit more abilities, like, hey, if we didn't hit that, like if we hit that one ability, like that kind of shit. He really didn't do it to me too much. At least not to the point where it ever super bothered me. It just bothered a lot of other people. But like that kind of passive aggressive. It was never terrible over the top. Holy fuck. My brain's not working. I know who this is, but I can't think of his name. Moswell, thank you. So we got Moswell, I believe, after Lasberg got kicked. And it was the season after he had just won Worlds. And he was friends with Wowie. I'm pretty sure they were really good friends. So in my mind, he was a great mid laner. I'm expecting him to come in and be a fucking beast. This motherfucker did not understand picks and bans and counter matchups and anything like that at all. Or if he did, he hit it very well. He would pick what he wanted to play, not what would work, not what would give him a win. He needed to be told where to go, when to go, how to be there in every spot. Like super babysat about what he was doing in the game. Outside of that, it was very strange because he would come to the team house and then just never come out of his room at all. I don't mean like, I mean never. I mean literally never. He was a pretty bad teammate. All around. He was, you mean like smell bad? I don't remember. Lots of motherfuckers smell bad. Actually, our team when it was me, Lazara, Ducky, Wowie, I don't even know who was it. Was it Mineral? Was it not Mineral? Mineral. Honestly, everyone was really clean on that team. Was it Wolfie? Wolfie's clean. But like that team was really clean. Like Ducky and Lazara are like you've seen them. They're super, you know, like they're on their fucking face product. They're clean as fuck type shit. So like our team wasn't really stinky. Some other people on teams are stinky. Neilma was super positive. Mechanically, he was kind of ass when I played with him. I might have been too. Those are the two things I really remember about playing with Neilma. He's a cool dude. He got a lot better after I played with him. I'd say average teammate. His positivity really carried him as a teammate. Like overly positive. Overly positive. This is Gino? This is Gino, right? Not Gino? I think this is not Gino. Anyone confirm it is Tally? Okay, so this is not Gino. He was the support for the team I played with, like Vedium and them, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. That's not adapting. It's Gino. No, it's not adapting. At least it's supposed to be Gino. I'm pretty sure it's Gino. So he was actually a fairly good mechanical player. He talked a lot of shit. We were on a team of like shit talkers, like me and Vedium. Like we would shit talk all the time. So he talked a lot of shit. Never really could back it up. Before we went to our LAN, I'm pretty sure we just had a lot of problems. So he ended up playing mid. And because of his cockiness and ego, he would say he could do things he wasn't capable of doing. So he swore he was good in mid, comfortable in mid, all this other shit. We get to Lamb, and the first thing out of this motherfucker's mouth is he shouldn't be mid lane. He's not good enough. And he decided to wait until LAN to tell us that. No, because this is Armada. This is the Armada jersey. This is Gino. I'm pretty sure this is Armada. So that happens. We play the first day. We get shit on. We come back and we're watching VODs. And this will always stick in my mind for my entire life. I've never seen this anywhere. Esports, anywhere. We're in a hotel room, 2 beds. There's 5 of us. We're watching the games. And honestly, most of what we're talking about is Gino sucking dick at mid. But not saying he sucked dick. Just like, you shouldn't be doing this. You should do this. But it's mainly him. Keep in mind, he's laying in the bed. And I think he's under the covers at this point, like watching. I think maybe the 5th thing came up where we're like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? You should have been doing this. And keep in mind, we're not being mean, but we're not being nice. He throws a tantrum, ends up pulling the covers over his head, and says he doesn't care anymore. Never seen anything like it in my fucking life. Ever. Couldn't believe it. Literally couldn't fucking believe it. It was crazy. I couldn't fucking believe it, dude. I don't remember what I said at all. I truly do not remember what I said. I'm sure I instantly checked out and was just like, okay, we lose. I bet you Vedium, if he was around still, he would know like more or remember it. You know, remember parts I don't remember. Maybe remember what else was said. I'm sure I told Vedium like some fucked up shit. Called the dude some names maybe. So that's up there. That's up there, trash teammate. Like I said, I've never seen some shit like that before. Yes, everyone here played either a professional PC or some of them were Xbox. What's up, Griffith? Thank you for the primer. Hold on, let me get out my big jug of water. We brought it back, boys. Need a drink. I'm losing my voice here. And if any of these people remember these stories in some other way, gladly hear it, because it's been so long. I don't give a fuck, but this is how I remember it. Hello, Sturts. Oh, this thing is huge. Look at this. Like, I had a big head, right? I don't know how big it is. I didn't realize it was this big when I bought it. All right, on to the rest. Oceans. I don't think I was ever super fond of Oceans. I always thought he was kind of weird. I tried to help him out with content. He was very strange. He was a pretty like good player. He didn't talk a lot. He would get hyped in moments and like call targets and stuff, and that was really fun to play with him when I played with him. He played on that PBM Cyclone Me stealth team. So that team at that time at first was really fun to play with. It turned into some dog shit. I'd say it was probably, like, remembering now, like an average teammate in the moment. And when I was playing with him, I might have, after the first season, said he was a bad teammate. I don't think he was great. I don't think he really understood the game at a high level at that point in time. But his ADC gameplay for that season, everything was solid. This isn't, I don't know who King Oceans is. This was just Oceans back then. And he lived with Kiki and Shawaz for a while at one point. I mean, when I say he was kind of weird, he did a stream where he was painting like a whale. I mean, and it wasn't like he was a painter. And it wasn't, I don't know. He just did. He was different. He was different. Not a bad person, just different. Very, very, very different. It was a seal. Sorry, not a whale. Seal. There was just some, like I said, average teammate. Strange guy, average teammate. Omega. We played with Omega to win Worlds on Xbox. He was a previous Halo like semi-pro or pro or some shit. When we played Xbox, solid teammate. We were winning all the time. Really easy to be a good teammate. Good player. Solid player. Then we picked him up to play PC after we kicked in con. I don't think we scrimmed for 3 weeks. And we didn't have a winning record. And he lied to our owner and said, I didn't play Smite anymore. I was playing Paragon. At the time, that was when Paragon came out. Everyone was playing it. I was playing it in my free time. I was streaming it. But I was also still scrimming Smite and playing Smite. He lied to the owner, said I didn't play Smite anymore. For some reason, my dumbass teammates, Cyclone, Kiki, whoever the fuck else it was, went along with it. Got kicked off the team. Talked to the owner. Owner tells me what he said. I'm like, well, you got lied to. And I think at that moment, that was the owner of Envy, Envious Hastro. I think he knew he wasn't going to be in Smite for very long. Because it was a weird, like, it wasn't a weird conversation between them, but it was like he just didn't care. So that happened. Got kicked. Terrible fucking teammate. Brought in, I believe it was Mask after me. Mask went on to be one of the best junglers to play the game, like top 10 probably to ever play the game. Kicked Mask off the team as well. So he pretty much just cycled through people because he didn't understand how to grow and get better. Then I had my nice little redemption arc or whatever, revenge. I got picked up by that Incon team, the Matty Pocket, Lasses team. Oh, and I keep in mind, I'm talking shit about Omega on stream everywhere else all the time before I got picked up. I get picked up. The first team we play, Omega's team. So there's a clip where the night before I played Omega's team, it was a ranked game. I was playing against Omega. I taunted him. He messaged me in game talking shit. I talked shit back, turned into a whole thing. Next day, I fucking destroyed the team. Absolutely just fucked them sideways. Shit on them so hard. I tweeted like his screenshot of him talking shit with the little sippy cup fucking frog thing. And it went like Smite viral, which wasn't, crazy, but like Smite viral at the time was, pretty big. And then his career ended. He played for a couple more games, got shit on over and over again. His career ended. The Lipton Kermit meme. Yeah. Like I tweeted it with like me doing it. I was out eating so the games used to be pre-recorded, if I'm not mistaken. So like we played the game and we shit on them, and then I went out to eat with Sammy. And when the game was about to go end, Sammy had tea or something, and I took her tea and took a picture. I think I could probably find it. But yeah, so trash teammate, dog shit, boo boo. Yeah, Tanner, I was gonna say you just time that guy out. You gaming after this? Yeah, I'm down. Shmeeb, I'm gonna leave you. I'm sorry. All right, let me do this. Let me get through these. So Peckies, if you guys, I talked about the team with Adonis, the team with Funball. Peckies was on that team. Peckies went on to work at High Res. He ended up running like all of the, like the streams, like the esports and everything, like everything you saw. He was like in some, maybe not in charge of it. Maybe at one point I think he was in charge of it. Now he runs OTKs. I don't know the term. What's the term? Do you guys know what the term for what it is? Oh, let me look him up. Peckies is dope. I'm still friends with Peckies, or like I talk to Peckies every once in a while. Last Worlds, I got to hang out with him for a little bit. He's the director, so he's like the director for all of their like shows and shit. Peggy was a cool teammate, fun guy, never really negative, liked to try cool things. This is at a time where Smite wasn't insanely competitive, so I put him up here. A great teammate. Like I said, I'll still talk to this guy. He was very creative too. He would like to do dumb shit, which is like. End of the you try some dumb shit, you say it's dumb shit, it doesn't work, works, whatever. Great. PBM. All right, so I always say if I were to make a team, like I'm just thinking about player, like actual player. I say PBM probably the sport I play with. When I played with PBM, he was the most entertaining person I played with, the most communicative player I played with, the best shot caller at the time I played with. Mechanically, he was okay at that time. He went on to be great. At that time, he was mechanically okay. But there's some bad shit. And like I said, I love PBM, but this happened, and it is what it is. So with this team, this is the me, Cyclone Spin, PBM, Stealth, Oceans team. We go through that bracket to get to Worlds, the team we made where we kicked in comp, or I kicked in comp, team owner kicked in comp. We get to Worlds. We win all those games. We had a great time. Fucking awesome. We get to Worlds. We played a fucking a LATAM team at Worlds. They got a lot of information before playing us that we didn't know about. They shit on us. There was some other stuff that happened. The mid laner used a skin that was banned that had no sound on the alts, and they didn't do anything about it. It was just a really fucked up day. We got shit on though, right? We got shit on. So then our second game is against the adapting team. The best in the world, undefeated adapting team. First game, we go in. We went in kind of expecting to get shit on, especially after the day before getting shit on by a team we shouldn't have. And the game was a lot closer than we thought. Then we have a team fight at like 25 minutes or something. We kill their front line. The only people that are up are their ADC and their mid. This is energy, I think, right? Yeah. We call an end. Cyclone says, I'll back and defend because the Chronos was split pushing. We were like, all right, we're going to run it down mid. Make sure we have a ward for Cyclone and TPN. Cyclone backs. PBM also backs. PBM has our ward. So we're halfway down the lane, expecting him to put the ward down. So Cyclone can TP in and we can end the game. And he's not there. There's no mic. Didn't listen. The Chronos backs, comes mid. We're like, well, we're kind of fucked now. Let's just run at them and see what happens with the three of us. We got shit on. Lost that. Lost the game. I truly fucking believe if he did not back and put the ward down, we won that game. If we won that game, I think we would have shit on them the second game. I think they would have been crushed morally. I think we would have been on a crazy high. I think the energy that team already had with like Mike when he was hyped up, I think it literally would have been us beating them. And I think we beat them. You never know, who knows what happens after that. Then what happens with the team after that. Then we go into the next season. We're the same roster. We were really good, so we stayed together. I listened to Mike's did his teammate list. He kind of said similar stuff about me, and then it was like I've prioritized stream afterwards. And I'll be honest, I might have in season 4. I think I might have been cared way more about my stream. I really don't remember. So if that's what he thought, definitely possible. But we get like a month out from a LAN, and Mike messages us and says, basically quits. Mental health stuff, which, obviously take care of yourself. I get it. Weird time. Weird time. So then we go through, I don't even think it was a month. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks. I think it was something crazier than that. So we have to find like this other support. It ends up being this dude, Vivian X3. He's dog ass. We go to LAN. We get shit on. It's basically a waste of my time. And the next thing I know, Mike's on a new team. Right after that. Very, very quickly after that. So I was never mad about it. It was kind of fucked up that like the one reason you quit and then you just got right back in. Could have gone to LAN and at least like it not been as stressful and fucked for us. I'd say as like a teammate, great dude, fucked up a little bit. That shit was kind of fucked up for me, so I'd probably put him like average. Probably wouldn't put him great. I always thought that was really fucked up. I never cared enough to like bring it up. I still like not bring it up. I've talked about it on stream. I have talked about this on stream before. All these stories I've said on stream at some point. This isn't like super secret stuff, at least most of it. It's just most of the time it wasn't a big deal. Like people didn't care about it. Yeah, this is PBM. I was talking about Polar Bear Mike. I don't remember. Snoopy was on the team with Adonis, Funball, and Peckies. I don't remember a lot of playing with him, so it was obviously nothing bad, nothing crazy, nothing great. I put him as average. I really don't remember much of playing with him. Takadi was also on that team roster at one time. This is the dude who got banned from high-res events. This is also the dude who has the lowest player damage in the history of an SPL game. Which story you want first? The lowest damage in the history of an SPL game or the ban from high-res events? Okay, so it wasn't with me that he got the lowest damage in the history. He went on and played kind of sporadically for a little bit, the very beginning of the SPL. So when I played with him, it was right before there was an SPL. It was the competitive scene, but it was before there was an SPL. He played in the SPL for a little bit. He played Hell. I still don't know how it's possible. He played Hell mid. He's mid laner. 23 damage in a full game that didn't get surrendered. One auto attack in a full game that didn't get surrendered. He didn't hit one hell AoE. It was an auto attack. 23 damage. You found the tweet of me drinking tea? You're a beast. Dude, look at this. I'm not even fully bald here. That's crazy. Good times. Good times. Ugly ass cut. Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know you were looking in the mirror right now, bitch. I don't know how I like tried it other times to go back and watch this game, but I don't know where it is. I don't know what match it is. I think it's on YouTube somewhere. I don't know how to look it up. And then like I said, he went on to get banned from high-res events. Is the bop command still active in my stream? I don't know. I think it's gone, right? Okay, so there's like a video that you've probably seen if you've been around for a while of at a high-res event, someone going around and bopping players on the head with their phone while the camera's recording to get their reaction. And like Kiki, he did it to Kiki and it was super funny and like it was hilarious. He did it to me and he cut it when I fucked him up because I told him he did it to me, I was gonna fuck him up. I did. But at that same event, I don't know if it was him acting out or what, but he said something really fucking stupid about one of the current, he was out at some dinner that the devs were at, and he said something really fucked up about one of the devs' wives. That was the first fuck up on top of everyone complaining about him doing the phone shit and being like, you know, over the top in the hotel, running around and shit. So he's already like, they're hearing all this negative shit. And then at the end of that dinner, he said something even more fucked up to the waitress that was serving all of them with the dev and the dev's wife and everyone else there. I don't remember exactly what he said. I think he actually did something. I think it was less what he said and more what he did. But they told him not to come back to any more high-res events. I'll probably put him as like a bad teammate. He was never great, never average, pretty bad. That shit was crazy because I've never heard of anybody getting banned from a high-res event until he did it. Yeah, it was. At the moment, like at the time, everyone said what it was, and then when we got done with that, event, they said don't come back. Interesting dude. He's a very strange guy. He's actually been in the stream in like the past 5 years for a minute. I don't know what he does anymore. No idea. Benino. Ben was a cool dude. I played with him when he was really young, when he was like first getting into the SPL scene, and he was at ADC. He wasn't a great ADC, but he was a really good dude. He wanted to get better. He took advice and like his whole thing was just getting better. It seemed like I actually really liked playing with him overall. I felt bad when we kicked him and Cope. I never really felt bad about kicking Incon, I'll be honest. But when I kicked them too, I felt bad because I felt like they just never had the time to get to the level they were capable of playing at, and we saw that. Like we've seen that from both of them. Cope is probably the best jungler that's never played in the SPL because his teammates have always been dumbasses. He ran like SCC one time and fucking shit on SPL teams, then went on to just go nuts as a mid laner. I think they just got fucked by not having enough time. I probably put him at average overall just because I didn't play with him for a super long time. Cool dude. I like Ven a lot. Vedium. I'd say Vedium was a great teammate. He was very good. He was confident. We both shit talked a lot. He was a little strange. What's up, Ven? He was a little fucking... He's a little strange. And he would go over the top of the shit talk and he'd say stuff that was over the top. But I like playing with him a lot. He still messages me occasionally. Like, every year I feel like I get like... We like talk for a few minutes. Oh. Honestly, maybe I should put him down lower at Trash Teammate. He stole one of my, I think maybe my only penta I should have had in the SPL. Other team was ending the game. He was playing Soul, I think. He was playing Soul. I was playing Circuit. I get a double taunt while they're killing our Titan. Clap their cheeks, ult somebody. I die. The person I ult dies. The poison spreads. Next person that it spreads to, it's spreading to all of them, but the next person it spreads to dies. Spreads again. Explodes again. Third person dies. I have a triple kill. I'm dead the whole time. I was dead before the first kill went off. Fourth one explodes. Kills him. Explodes on creeps as well. And the fifth guy. Fifth guy has like 2-3% HP. He's trying to run away. And then runs in and seals the kill. It would have been the only pentakill from death screen ever. 100%. I'll never forget it. I was so pissed. And he didn't do it on purpose. He was just so locked in that like we were saving the game that he killed them. I was actually really mad. Like there was zero way for him to live. Zero. And it was clear. Anyone who knew anything about Smite would have known this guy's dead. And he took it. And he didn't process it in the moment. And we talked about it afterwards. He laughed his ass off. If I talk to him now, if I message him now, I'd be like, remember when you stole that fucking pentakill? He'd probably laugh his ass. I can hear him laughing about it. I like playing with Vedium a lot. He's a cool dude. Wolfie. Wolfie was a beast back in his rival days. I really liked Wolfie. I think he was nowhere near as good mechanically as he was when he played on rival. Could have been the team. Could have been me. I don't know. We were pretty good friends. We talked a lot. We played ranked all the time together. I like playing with him. Smart dude. Super open to criticism. Took it great. The biggest thing was that last team, mechanically, our team was ass. That was like the only bad thing overall. I like playing with him a lot. I think he probably should have been better than he was coming from like rival and being top tier and then play on our team. Like I always expected a lot of these dudes to kind of be better than they were, I guess. Like not even trying to shit talk them, but I always expected them to kind of come in and be like stars. And I was always down to be like the supporting cast to a star team wise, like to make them better. And so we won games. But everyone I always expected to be like a star never was. I don't know. Can't carry me. Maybe that's my fault. Yeah, maybe I'm just uncarryable. That's possible. That's definitely possible. Almost done here. Wowie. I'd say overall, Wowie's an average teammate. He'd have pop-off games where he'd go crazy. His comms weren't great. He was a pretty good player. He wasn't consistent. He'd have really great games, then kind of like below average games. The one thing that always pissed me the fuck off, the only thing that keeps me from putting him maybe higher, was we would get shit on. Keep in mind, I am, my stream's nuts. My YouTube's nuts. I'm traveling every weekend to play in the SPL to Atlanta, to our team house. I'm driving. I have our only car there. I'm driving us to the event. I'm getting back. So like I'm putting in all this time and effort, right? I'm also watching VODs, all that shit. I'm not missing scrims, whatever. We get back from getting shit on in an SPL game, and him and Mineral would walk right inside and stream for fucking 15 hours. First of all, how the fuck do you get shit on in an hour in a professional match? Twitter's fucking roasting you. And the first thing you want to do is go fucking stream for 15 hours. The other thing that pissed me off, like the reason that pissed me off, was when we get shit on, me, Ducky, Lazra would play basketball. We'd get home, we'd shoot around, and we'd talk everything over. Like what we thought we fucked up. We talk about like, was it my fault? Was it, Ducky be like, am I fucking up? Lazra was like, am I fucking up? Never did he partake in those conversations. He'd come out sometimes. I'm not saying never did he come out and talk at all, but it was never right after a game where like everything was fresh. And it always really pissed me off. I also always felt like, Ducky was dunking on me. I also always felt like he wasn't putting in the time and effort to watch VODs of the games and scrims to get better and to understand why other people were as good or bad as they were, like to watch other teams as well, which always pissed me off a little bit. I don't know if it was on purpose. I don't know, maybe he did it in his free time and just didn't talk about it. I don't think he did, but that's why I put him as an average teammate. Zatman. I was never on a real team with Zatman. Zatman filled in for Allied when we played a LAN in Sao Paulo, Brazil. We won a summer LAN. I won a PC LAN. That's crazy. You guys didn't know that because you're fucking idiots. Anyway, we won a PC LAN. The prize was like a prize pool, and then you also go to Sao Paulo and you play their top team for the fuck of it, and you get paid a little bit of money. Allied couldn't get his passport in time, so I asked if I think maybe Encon did, or me and Encon did. We asked like who can we get, and they're like, you can get whoever you want. So we played with Zatman. Zatman was honestly probably the best ADC at that time. I think he was probably better than Allied overall as just an individual. So we picked up Zatman. Pretty much just went in with no practice, expecting to win. We trolled when we were there. We played like Zhang Kui fucking support and like Loki ADC and shit. It was good. Honestly, hanging out with him at that time was dope. I had no problem. That was like before all the shit that he did was out or it even happened. So as a teammate back then, he was great. I had no issue. It wasn't like a real thing. So I can't really say anything bad as a teammate about that shit. We start talking about his other decisions. There's a lot more to talk about there. Oh yeah, Allied not getting his passport. Us inviting Zatman. Oh, this is actually I'll talk about this. So I've talked about. You can Google Zatman and all the fucked up shit he's done. When we're in Brazil, I think Brazil was a weird trip to begin with, to be honest, because they like kind of told us not to go anywhere, so nothing would happen to us. They were like, "Don't go that way." You get told not to go that way, you're pretty much being told not to go anywhere. So we were hanging out like in the hotel and in the specific places we were supposed to be. Zatman was either in our room or we all three. I think he was in me and Incon's room, and he was talking about this girl that he really liked. And he's like, "What the fuck do I say?" And Zatman at the time, him and Lassus were like kind of like I don't know if I'd say players, but like they kind of they kind of got around with what they could. I don't know what if it was top tier stuff, what they could. But he liked this girl, and he's like, "What the fuck do I say? Like, what should I message her? What do I do?" While we're talking about it, she messages him. Craziest shit I ever saw in my life. Like while we're talking about it, and he's like planning what to type, she fucking messaged him. And then now I'm pretty sure they're married and everything else. And they're happy and all that shit. So that's cool. But yeah, then he went on to do some fucked up shit. Please rank Vivian. Vivian wouldn't be on here. That dude was dog shit. He stole a fucking SPL. He's the one who stole an SPL team, right? Here's the bot video. Oh, so this is part of that dude who got banned from high-res events.
How fucking stoked are you right now, Chris Pocket? What? How fucking stoked?
So this is Clumsy. He's a dev now. At the time he wasn't. Lassus.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Oh, this was the funny one. This is the one that was like super funny.
Ow, what the fuck?
That was Kiki.
Get the fuck away.
Okay, so I told him before, this is me, bald me. I told him if he did this, I was gonna fuck him up. So you can see when he does it, that's me like, all right, here we go. He cuts it. I fucked him. I grabbed him by the arm. I pulled him back towards me and I slapped the fuck out of him. Of course, that's not in there.
Get the fuck away from me, no!
You can see me holding his arm. Yeah, but this is part of the reason he got banned from high-res events. All right, you know what? Fuck it. We already talked about shit. Everyone else. That man, I was gonna be nice, but I don't know. I'll keep bringing up old shit. Why not? We're talking about history, right? That man's on a team with Lassus, Anatoly, two other people I don't remember. He lives with Anatoly and Lassus. This is when we were AFK. There was team skins at the time. We got like half the money from the team skins. We get a check for $30,000 on AFK. Me and Incon talk to Lassus pretty regularly. We're talking to him in like, I don't know, his vent or whatever the fuck it was at that time. And we're talking about the money we got. At the same time, the team they're playing on is owned by Zatman. Eager. This is also after Brazil. So that whole like Zatman meeting his girlfriend, wife, whatever, fiance, whatever. I really don't know what they are. That's already happened and in the process. We're talking, me and Incon are talking about the money. Lassus goes, "What skin money?" I'm like, we got paid our skin money from high-res. We got our cut already. It's $30,000. So we're each getting, what, 6K, whatever. He goes, "I'll be right back." Doesn't come back. what was ever said or happened between them never really came out. Eventually, the guy who was that man's financial person on Team Eager came out with screenshots that Zatman had spent all the money or most of the money on traveling to Brazil to be with his now wife. Says it didn't happen. Screenshots, what everyone else says happened. I'm pretty sure I talked to Lasses about it one time, and he's like, it isn't quite like that. I think he's kind of just defending him. It was whatever happened was fucked up. No matter what, it was fucked up. And the fact that it always really irked me that I got so much shit for just shit talking in Smite, being like, yeah, I'm better, you know, you stink, we're better than this team. That got me so much shit. But somebody could steal money from people they live with and not get crucified for it always made me have zero respect for that side of the Smite community. Always. Bobby, you built 80% cooldown in an SPL game and then told me you thought it was good. Be happy with this. All right, go watch it back. Be happy with this. Don't make me move you down. But yeah, that always irked me. That always really pissed me off. A little bit later on, Zatman asked me to make an org with him after Eager. And I remember messaging Cyclone, like, hey, Zatman wants to do this. Like, you want to play? Cyclone was pretty sketched about it. I hadn't made a decision. I was just seeing who was interested and ended up being like, nah, I'm good. Like, if I own an org, which at the time I eventually wanted to own an org, I was like, I'm just going to I want to, like, it to be mine. So, like, that also, you know, the whole thing was just strange. Where would I put myself on this tier list? I'd say up here. I'd say great teammate. I'd say at times my mechanics might make me fall down a little bit, but I was always the shot caller. And I feel like if you know video games, usually if someone's an overall ultimate shot caller, they're usually one of the like weaker statted players on the team. Granted, I'm not falling back on just that, but I played a lot better mechanically when I wasn't the shot caller, like season 6 or season 7, season 8, season 6, season 7. Oh no, Bobby, I said we would have lost, but that still had to go into effect. I said you were a great person. Our team was ass. Be happy, bitch. I also only played with you for a little bit. There was other stuff there. Watch it back. It's not a bad thing you're here. Where would other people put me? It would be to who you asked. Some would probably say if anyone said I was a bad teammate, I'd literally lose my fucking mind. As a teammate, I was never a bad teammate. I never like attacked people. I'd argue with people over game shit. Pretty much all my best teammates and like people I was like really good friends with, I'd argue with at some point, always. But it was never bad. I was one of the only people on every team that would like hype people up when they did something good. It's pretty like you see it on stream, like, you know, someone gets a kill, I'd be like, good shit. If someone put me as a bad teammate, I'd love to hear their reason. I would, if it was anything other than like he wasn't the best, I'd be fucking mind blown. I was never on a team with DM. Never played in the SPL. DM was out of the competitive scene before there was an SPL. No, I took so my SPL career. So yeah, someone asked, "Have you ever played with Shing?" Shing was when I first found Smite. He was the #1 jungler in the game and ranked. He was top MMR in the game, way above everybody else. What most people don't know is Shing played World of Warcraft as a rogue on Alliance on the server that I played, Horde Warrior. I was very into PvP. I was very good at World of Warcraft PvP. I would farm Shing all the fucking time in WoW. So when I found Smite, saw Shing was at the top, I said, if he's at the top of this game, I'm going to be the best player that's ever touched this game. I literally said that to Mindy. You could ask him. Fast forward a little bit farther. Shing was a ghoster. He would stream, and you would hear other people's streams in the background of his stream. He was the most well-known ghoster, which is stream sniping, of all time in Smite. I had a literal picture of him on a ghost that covered my minimap whenever we would play against him. And it wasn't like a haha joke. It was like, it was so he would open my stream and see that and realize he got caught. But yeah, so right before the SPL kicked off, he got an offer to play on the #1 team, which was Dignitas, which is Lassus's team, Zatman's team. But it's for solo lane. Shing, having a dumbass ego, thinks he can play any role. Takes the slot. I get asked to try out for his spot on his team with Outlied and Jerby. Where the fuck's Jerby? And Jerby and them. I get the spot instantly. So my Smite career started because I saw he was rank 1, and then I took his spot on the team. I beat his team and took over probably what he thought he should have had. I ended up taking everything that he should have. Never really hated him as a person, but hated him as a player forever. He talked a lot of shit and would cheat and do whatever he could to just look better than he was. If I could pick 4 teammates to create a team now, who would you pick? Are we going off like their current skill, or like what are we basing it on? Right now, based on skill, fuck. I want to play with Andy, so Andy would be on there. So like that's an easy start. Honestly, I'd literally play another role to play with him. Fuck. Let's say he's supporting and I'm juggling. Like let's just say that's what it is. This is hard because a lot of these people don't really play the game anymore. I mean, we probably go Cyclone, even though he really hasn't been playing Smite lately. Do we go? I'm between I'm probably go PBM. I probably go PBM. And then probably Ven. I'd probably have picked Ven no matter what. Like like just to play with him as in a different role where he's actually a fucking beast rather than the last time I played with him as ADC. No, my reason for not picking Bobby, I actually think it would be way better now than it was before. Like genuinely be better. Like our team, whatever team we ended up making would be better. But I've played with him in the past few years where like I didn't play with Mike when he was mechanically good. I played with Mike when he was kind of dog shit mechanically. Like Mike couldn't hit a Fafnir stun to save his fucking life when I played with him. Yeah, if Cope still played the game, I'd pick Cope instantly. Like me, Cope, and Andy on the same team would probably be like, I'd be fucking, no matter what, it'd be dope. There was someone else I was looking at. I was like, they don't really play. If Cyclone played the game or like with, love Smite still, I'd probably pick I would pick Cyclone definitely then, even more so. Yeah, no way I'd pick any of these motherfuckers. Bobby, like out of this, Bobby's the one I would pick that I didn't pick, I think. I'd play with Wolfie again. If Stealth, I wish Stealth didn't get fucked. So Stealth had a baby, which everyone knew, and I think because he had the baby, he wanted to stabilize his life and not be in the stressful am I gonna play a competitive Smite. So he went and got a job at High Res. I don't think he works there anymore, but I think if he had kept playing, he'd still be one of the best mids in the game. Like I actually think he'd probably be a top 2 mid laner in the game still.